Hey YouTube, took a day off today. Had an appointment, but I got some time here to work on the Suburban. So basically, I got a new pulley for it because the last one was too small for the 5L belt. I'll show you that in a second. So I'm going to replace that. Probably, depending on how tight it is, I'll more than likely have to also put on an idler gear to keep that belt tight. So I might just put it on. I'll put the belt on, take a look at it, and see what basically how tight it is. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some type of idler pulley to keep tension on that belt for the pump. So hopefully all this stuff works. I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully it all works. So got a new pulley for the starter. I took off the old one and it was really worn out. The old one was made for a 3L and a 4L size belt. So it was a little on the, it was worn out pretty hard, so it was really not a good fit for these 3L belts. So I got a pulley right off of, eBay, I think. And it's directly made for the Delco Remy, so it fit perfectly with a 17mm, and it's a 3L belt pitch. So I did that. Plus, I was able to also find a new pulley for. It was just one of those standard aluminum ones you've seen for years and years. They're kind of cheap, but it's better than the one I had. So the set screw's the set screw on the old one was totally shot. So put this new one on, put the bolt in through the center. I think that was also one of the reasons why I was slipping last time, is I forgot to put the bolt down the center. And I also put a new 5L belt on, which is tight as it's tight as a mother right now, which is great. And actually, it was low risk on buying this one. This was basically the one I used for my Super Tomahawk. So I bought another one, basically another one. So if it didn't work on this, I just had it as a backup for my Super Tomahawk. So that's so what we got. So I'm gonna, before it gets too dark here, I'm gonna fire it up, and hopefully everything works out. So let me just set up the camera and try this out. A little bit of rain coming, so hopefully we'll do this quick. That was interesting, the belt busted. This was the old one, actually, from when I first got it, so let me grab another new one. This is a 33, 3L 33. 34 would probably be perfect, but that's what I have. Let's try this again. bad news. Good news and bad news. So, it's good news. Obviously it started, which was great. Just a little bit of struggle, but then it kicked over fine. I don't think I'll be starting us up anytime in the winter, but we'll see how things go. But the belt, you saw the smoke. It was looked like it was burning up the belt. So once I engaged the pump, it looked like it had some issues. So I think I bought another idler pulley, so I'm gonna have to put that on tomorrow once I have daylight and see if that helps. So we will try that tomorrow. Stay tuned. Here's the new belt that's gonna go on it, and here's the here's the new pulley that's gonna go out. This is I got this at Granger. I don't know if you can see max RPM 550 or 5,000 basically. I think I'm okay. It's a BK 52 by 3/4. So basically, what it is here's the Sten's belt. I just got a new one in the mail. Hold on, let me take it out of the package. This is, like I said, this is a 5L and 4L pulley. So this is a 5L belt. So this is where a 5L belt should rest on a 5L pulley, right there. So everything's nice and captured. It looks good. Everything looks the way it should be. Now I'll show you what I have. The other pulley that I got, the aluminum one, how far this is out of place on that. With this the other day, this is a 4L belt, which looks fine on the 4L pulley, 4L, 3L pulley, but too small on this old 5L pulley that's on the motor. So it's probably slipping too much over here. It's fine for here, but so this is a 5L pulley, and this is a 4L pulley. I'm gonna go put, so we have a 5L 4L, and 5L 4L over here. So technically this should work. This setup should work, but I'd rather use the bigger belt on it, and you know, just because I think this one is this pulley's pretty worn, so I just want to put the bigger belt in it. So give me a second to take. All right, here's the kind of the two side by side. It's a subtle difference, but it does make a difference. So this is the 5L 4L, and this is the 4L 3L. So basically it's definitely a little bit wider and more accepting of the it's in this 4L pulley. So that's just way too high, and that's why I burned I kind of burned that one out. I'll have to go find it and show you how I burned it out, but the new pulley should be fine. What happens when you put a 5L belt on a 4L pulley? See that little edge right there? So that was the mount sticking up over, so that's why it kind of you know, it smoked and was burning it. So there you can see it really good there. So I'll probably throw this one back in just because now it's gripping up top, so it should be okay. We'll try it again. All right, so I put the 5L belt on the 5L pulley, the idler, but the idler is just too loose. So So I just kind of pushed, I put it into place and pushed it down, but there's still too much room. It's still slipping. So I gotta take it off and make a slot that basically that idler can go into, and then cram it on. So it was basically, the belt was stopping. So basically I gotta go back and slot it and push it down farther. Eventually maybe try to come up with a spring tensioner, but I'm gonna have to just slot it kind of like the transmission is now. All right, I basically lowered the idler gear. Might have lowered it too much. It might be rubbing against the pulley that's on the engine, but we'll find out. Might have to back it off or create a slot, but basically just created a hole underneath. thought was a, let me just take the camera off the tripod here. So this valve here, which is I believe not standard, what I thought was kind of in the disengaged mode, where it wouldn't put any load on there, was actually the right load. Because when I turned it this way, which I don't know where it's going, I don't know if it's going to this one or something else, that's when it kept stalling. Like I could tell it was building up pressure, so I thought there was an issue. So when I turned it on this, it relieved all the pressure, but I didn't realize I could still move it. But the pump was moving, and as you noticed, everything seemed to work fine. So controls are a little stiff. I don't see any major leaks right now, which is fantastic. Some drips from here, there's a little bit on my hand, but overall, very, very happy. And actually, one of the things I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is this has been off the ground for a week, so these cylinders aren't even leaking. So this thing has been stable for a while, so I'm actually really, really psyched that there's no leaks in these cylinders. So pretty psyched, and the fact that I have clearance right here. So even though it's tight to it, I was a little nervous that I was going to hit. It didn't scuff this at all. I'll have to watch to see if that hose hits, but I can always maybe tie that a little bit if I have to. Maybe put some of that abrasion wrap on it. But overall, very, very psyched. Very psyched. So let me look at the idler a little bit more. So as you can see, there's a hole I put there, and that wasn't enough. So then I switched it down, and we have enough tightness. So we have the 5L pulley with the 3/8 bore to the standard belt on the or standard pulley that's on the tractor to an idler that's off of it. So it doesn't look like it's rubbing, which is great. There's no scuff marks on here that would indicate that it's rubbing that pulley, which is fantastic. So I am absolutely psyched. So next challenge, I have to secure this, but still want to work on the steering because it's too wide of a turn. But need to just start getting weight on this bad boy, and then trying it out on moving some dirt over here. So hey, thanks for watching, and hey, this is I am absolutely stoked. See you guys soon.